So quiet, quiet, quiet. So I'm going to do this one again. Let's see if we can do it without any distractions. DJ, get up out of my seat and move to a student's desk. There are a couple in here that are free. Back there, I don't have time for your games. And yes, this one will be posted. Because you know you don't sit in my seat. I sit back in my seat. No, you may not. You can sit in that desk. Now, as I was saying before I was interrupted, I'm going to show you all how to solve this one two different ways. So this says 84 increased by 12%. And it tells us to use percent of change. So our percent of change is percent over 100 is equal to the change over the original. That is the equation. You need to know that equation. So our percent is 12%. We're going to place that over 100 is equal to, well, we don't know what the change is. We got to find that first. And then our original amount is $84. You're going to cross multiply. So that will be 84 times 12 is equal to and then we're going to cross multiply here, which will give us 100x. You're going to divide both sides by 100. And that will give you $10.08. That is the amount of change. So we know that it is an increase. So we're going to take our original amount and add it to the change. So our original amount was $84. You're going to add that to $10.08, which will give you $94.08. Another way that you could have done this problem is to simply say $84 increased by 12%. Take your original amount and add it to 12% of that original. And let me back that up. Add that to the percent times your original. So our original was $84 plus our percent, which is 12. You have to put that as a decimal, times your original, which was $84. And 12% times 84 will give you 1008. Same thing. And you add that back to your original. This is pretty much the same thing, the same process. It's just the way that it's worked out is just a hair different. One way you showed all the steps using the percent change. The other way is another method that was taught in class using your original plus the percent of your original. Both ways give you the same answer. On our next problem, number 12, it says 60 cars to 24. And this one also asks for us to use our percent of change. I like to rewrite my equation. And the more that you write it, the more that you will remember it. All right, so our percent, we don't know. So I'm going to put an X for the percent. And that's going to go over 100. And our change. Now, in order to calculate your change, you're going to find the difference between your original and your new amount. So our original was 60 and our new is 24. And the difference between 60 and 24 is 36. So we're going to go back over here and we're going to plug our change in as 36. The original amount, what we started off with, was the 60 cars. So we're going to cross multiply, same steps. Once we get it set up, we're going to cross multiply here. 36 times 100 is 3,600. And you're going to solve this one-step equation by simply dividing by 60 on both sides to get your x by itself. And that leaves you with 60% as the percent of change. Okay, so Dalen bought a canoe for $33.75. The sales tax was $5.25. What is the total cost? So we're going to use the same equation that we used a while ago, and this is just like going to the store. If you're going to the store, they're going to take 5.25% of that what you're purchasing, and they're going to add that back to your total. So in order to find your total cost, all you're going to do is take the cost, and because this is tax is going to make your amount go up. So cost plus 5.25% as a decimal is 0.0525 of that original amount. So let me back that up. I'm not going to redo this video. We're just going to back it up. So you're going to take your cost. I don't like how cost is written. So you're going to take your cost and you're going to add that to your sales tax times the cost. So now I am going to substitute for my variables or my titles. So the cost was $33.75. We're going to add to that $33.75 0.0525, which is the decimal of that percent. So we're going to add 5.25% of the cost, which was $33.75. OJ, sit down. You should not be up. So 0.0525 times 33.75 will give you 1.77 plus $33.75. Will, is that you showing up? Okay, so I'm switching up calculators here, having some technical difficulties here. So again, 5.25% of 33.75 is 1.77. So $1.77 is going to be your tax. And they're going to add that to the $33.75. This will give you $35.52. This is your total cost. So all you're doing is taking a percentage of the cost of your goods and you're going to add that back to the original cost of the goods. All right, moving on to our next problem. This person went to a salon. The cost of a haircut was $16. She tipped the stylist 15%. What was her total cost? This is the same as we did a while ago. So we're going to take the original amount, which was $16. We're going to add to that $16 because it's a tip, and a tip will increase the original amount. So when we're increasing, we're going to add. So we're going to take 15% of that original amount, which was $16. So 15% of $16 will give us $2.40. We're going to add that right back to our original cost of $16. And that will give us $18.40. Now, when you're working with money, we want to make sure that we have two decimal places. So do not write this as 18.4. No, it's $18.40. Add your zero. When you go to the grocery store, or if you're going to the mall and you're shopping, they're not going to say 18.4. They're going to say $18.40. Two decimal places. On to number 15, a computer software retailer used a markup rate of 40%. Find the selling price of a computer game that costs the retailer $25. So this is another one. A markup will increase. We're going to use the same formula. So you can use this for markup. You can use this for tips. You can use this for tax. It's the exact same equation. So you're going to take your selling cost. Well, to calculate your selling cost or selling price, you're going to take the cost and you're going to add the percent of the markup times the original cost. And that will tell you your selling cost. So now I'm just going to fill in. And the cost was $25 plus the percent, which is 40% of the cost again, which was $25. So that's 40% of 25, which is $10. You're going to add that back to the original cost. So he will be selling this for $35. And again, our question asks for selling price. So first thing is you have to find out what is the percent or the dollar amount of the markup by taking the percent of the markup and multiplying that by the cost. And then you just add your markup back to the actual cost. Okay, Scott wants to buy a baseball cap. He has $15.50 remaining on a gift card. The hat costs $15 and tax is 6%. If there is enough money on the gift card, how much will be on the gift card, be left on the gift card? Or if there isn't enough money on the gift card, how much will he still owe? So the first thing that we need to do is find out how much does this hat actually cost? How much does this hat actually cost? So they tell us it's $15 and the tax is 6%. So we're going to take the $15. Remember, tax is going to cause an increase. So that tells us that we need to add. We're going to add 6% of the cost of this hat. So 6% of the $15 is 90 cents. Add that back to your $15 and that will give you $15.90. Well, he only has the cost of the hat is $15.90, which says if there is enough money on the gift card, how much will be left over? Well, he doesn't have enough money on the gift card, so let's look at our next one. Or if there isn't enough money on the gift card, how much will he owe? So you can take the cost. He's going to be owing something because he doesn't have enough. So $15.90 minus $15.50 And that tells us that he's going to be owing 40 cents. Number 17, a bicycle shop is selling $500. Is selling a $500 bike at 10% off. If the sales tax is 7%, how much will the bike cost? So when you go into a store and something is on sale, the first thing that you do is to determine how much it is before the taxes. So the first thing is to find out what is 10% off of, all right, see you later, off of this amount. So it says that it's 10% off, so we know that is a discount, and it will decrease your original cost. So what you're gonna do, all right, what you're gonna do is take your original amount, and now this is a decrease. So you're gonna subtract 10% of the cost of the bike. Well, 10% of $500, if you don't know, is $50. And you're going to subtract that from the cost of the bike. So that is going to give you $450. That's what 10% off of this bike is. It will be $450. So when they go in the store and they're going to be finding out, okay, well, how much do I have to pay for this bike? This is how much they're going to have to be paying. So now that we know how much the actual bike costs, now we can determine how much he's going to have to pay once he gets to the cash register and check out. So now he's at the cash register. He's going to take the selling amount of $450. Now taxes will increase your cost. So that's going to be $450 plus 7%, which is the same as Mississippi state tax rate, just in case you forgot. Huh? Do what now?
It's hard to forget when you have to pay for stuff.
Mm-hmm. So 7% of $450 is $31.50. You're going to add that back to your $450, which is your original cost. So they calculate your taxes and then they add it back to the original amount, which will be $481.50. Remember, this is money. You have to have 2 decimal places. Not 1, but 2 decimal places. And I may have, no, I didn't miss one. All right, number 18. Number 18, a salesperson earns commission on the sales that she makes each month. The salesperson earns a 5% commission on the first $5,000 she has in sales. The salesperson earns 7.5% commission on any remaining amount of her sales that are an amount greater than $5,000. This month, the salesperson has $8,000 in sales. What amount of commission in dollars did she earn? Now, the first part where our 2 bullets are, that's pretty much like your scale. That's your reference. It's pretty much saying she's going to get $5,000. If she makes $5,000, the first $5,000, she's going to receive 5%. Anything over $5,000 will receive 7.5%. So let's start there. She has $8,000. the first 5,000 of that 8,000 will receive 5% commission. Well, what does she have left over? She has $3,000 left over. That's gonna receive 7.5% commission. Bye bye. Bye bye. So 5% commission. You're gonna have to find out what that is. Now we're not looking for that to be added back. Commission is just the percentage of an amount of sales. So to find your commission, you do your sales times your commission rate. All right, so here we got two of them to do because we have a 5% commission rate and we have a 7.5% commission rate. So on the 5,000, the sales was 5,000 and the commission rate was 5%, so 0.05. And we're going to calculate that. So 5% of 5,000 is going to equal, and let me put that on the other side. It's going to equal 250. Now we got to figure out what is the commission for the remaining $3,000. So 3,000 times 0.075, and that will tell us the 7.5 commission on the remaining $3,000, which is $225. Now it says what amount of commission in dollars did she earn. Got to add that up. So her total commission is $225 plus $250, which is $475. Okay. Moving on to number 19. Of the total school population of 810 students, 208 live outside the city limits. About what percent of the students live outside of the city limits? So this one is over of. We're looking for a percentage. So we can use our percent equation. There is another way to do it. You don't have to use percent equation. So we're looking for part to whole. And they told us that there are 810 students, so that's going to go where the whole is. And the part that we're looking at is 208. And we don't know what the percent is, so we're going to put 100 there. I mean an X there and put it over 100. So cross multiply, that will give you 810X. Cross multiply here, which we have 208 times 100. Make sure we get the right number of zeros. That's going to be 20,800. This is now a one-step equation, and we're going to divide both sides by 810. And X is going to be equal to 26%. Well, they don't have 26, but we can do 25%. The number that we had was 25.6790. So 25.6790 is closest to 25%. So look at your numbers before you round. Okay, a DVD costs $20. The sales tax is 14%. How much sales tax do you have to pay? Now here you're only looking for the sales tax. You're not looking for the total amount. You're only looking for the sales tax. So in order to calculate sales tax, the only thing that we're doing different here is that we're not going to add it back to the original cost. So you're going to put the tax rate times the cost. So our tax rate here is 14% times our cost of $20. So 14% of $20 is $2.80. If you put in your calculator and it comes up with 2.8, you need to add a zero. You're dealing with money. $2.80. Moving on to number 21. Okay, 4 students ran for school president. Use the following results to find the winner. So this is just like number 1. I'm going to change all of mine to percents. So Jenna received 22% of the votes. Jordan received 1/4 of the votes, and 1/4 as a decimal is decimal 25, which is equal to 25%. So he received 25% of the votes. Kelsey received 6 out of 20. So we can do 6 over 20. Now that is a fraction. We can divide. And 6 over 20 will give us decimal 3, which is 30%. So Kelsey received 30% of the votes. And then we have 23 over 100, which is decimal 23, which is equal to 23%. So let's see, Jenna had 22, and I'm going to write this out here to the side so they're all together. 22%. Jordan receives 25%. Kelsey received 30%. And then Nathan received 23%. So the winner is Kelsey.
At this time, please select firefighters that meet in front of A building office.
All right, number 22, the regular price of a video game is $69.95. This week it is on sale for 15% off. What does the game cost this week? So this is a discount, and a discount will decrease the original amount. So we're going to take the original amount of $69.95 and we're going to subtract the percentage of the original amount from there. Please be quiet. Please be quiet. So that is 15% of $69.95, which is $10.49. So you're going to subtract that from $69.95. Stop playing in my room. Which will give you $59.46. That is how much it is on sale for this week. Now you may have to pause this. I'm trying to go through it as quickly as possible before school releases, which hopefully I have time to upload it before I leave. So number 23, this is 23, 24, and 25. So when we combine our like terms here, I always like to put a 1 here and a 1 here and a 1 here. So 1p plus 85p will give us 1.85p. 1p minus 0.85p will give us 15p, and 1p plus 0.15p will give us 1.15p. Now, this is our original, and we know we've worked with things that says our original plus or minus the percent times the original. Now, the plus or minus, the plus or minus can be for a tip, a markup, or taxes. We've also dealt with the original minus the percent times the original. And now our minus right here could easily be a markdown, percent off, or any other discounts. So let's look. All you have to do is look and see if you have a plus or a minus. So we have plus 85. So that we have to look at E, F, and G. We have 85% markup, an 85% markdown, a 15% tip, or 15% off. Be quiet.
42 items need to get on the bus at the multipurpose building. And at this time, please release 6 and 8 grade bus riders.
So we have an 85%. A plus tells us it's going to be a markup, tip, or tax. We have a plus 85% of a number. So the only thing that it could be, we're dealing with 85, it's not a markdown because we're adding. So that would be an 85% markup.
Sorry.
Our next one is minus 85%. So we're knowing we're not dealing with 15% tip or 15% off. If we're subtracting 85% of a number, that's going to be a markdown. Here we're adding 15% of a number. So we're only left with two other options, which is 15% tip and a 15% off. If it is a tip, we're going to be adding. And if you want to kind of write on your paper something to help you out, a mark up is adding. A mark down is subtracting. A tip is adding. And a percent off or discount is subtracting. This is your study guide. Your test is tomorrow. Go home and study. Excuse me. I have not dismissed you all.
That first good.